from Faction XYZ. He will be talking about chatbots, which is one of the sexy topics in the current financial trends of the banking industry.
Okay, so thank you, Mustafa. And first of all, I would like to apologize to the colleague who normally planned this presentation for now. I think it's the second time that I interrupted him with another meeting before, but I have a plane to catch this evening, so I'm sorry for that. I was asked to tell you a bit more about chatbots and give you some insights about chatbots and new recent trends and hypes within the chatbot industry. I'm just going to dive right into the presentation because there really is a lot to tell about chatbots, and I only have 50 minutes of my time, so I'm going to dive right in. First of all, maybe just give you a brief overview of who we are. So I'm working for Faction XYZ, and we are an applied artificial intelligence company based in Belgium, in Antwerp, and we were founded in 2016. For now, we already have 22 employees, and we have offices in Amsterdam and Paris as well. So we are executing machine learning projects, but about 1.5 years ago, we also developed our own platform. It's kind of like a software as a service. It's called chatlayer.ai, and it enables our clients, who are mostly situated in the telco, financial, and the automotive industry worldwide, to build and maintain their own chatbots in a very user-friendly and intuitive way, without having to be a developer or having any technical background whatsoever. I'm just going to skip this slide because I noticed that these are the old slides. I've sent some new ones, but they were not updated apparently. Why this hype about chatbots? So chatbots have been around a long time now, but recently chatbots start to appear everywhere, and everyone is talking about chatbots, and that has two major reasons. First of all, it's technological maturity. So the artificial intelligence, the algorithms behind a chatbot are improving over time. And that leads up to over 94% of understanding of human language. So the algorithm, the natural language processing algorithm in a chatbot, actually translates human language to computer language and can act upon that. Second factor contributing to the hype and the rise of chatbots is also channel maturity. So, and I think everyone in this room, or most people in this room, can relate to that. Of all the mobile apps you have installed on your phone, there actually are 4 to 5 apps, and there's research that proves this point. There actually are 4 to 5 apps that are frequently being used. Typically, that are messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Viber, etc. And over 60 billion messages are sent over these platforms per day, and on average, people spend more than 1 hour per day using these platforms. So why would you install yet another mobile app to do something, to solve just one problem, and to do something that you can actually also do via a messaging platform that you're already using intensively? On top of that, and it's been mentioned quite some times before, there's also something as the changing customer expectations and behavior. And it's all about instant gratification, actually. So we want what we want, when we want it, and where we want it, and preferably here and now. So that leads to the fact that companies in all industries are forced to adapt and to adopt a multi-conversational channel strategy. So companies will have to accept that interactions with their clients are not only managed via customer service departments or via branches, but also via web, mobile apps, and even chat and social media. So now that we have explained why chatbots are up and coming, how do you start building a chatbot? Because everyone has a great idea in their mind, like we want to build a chatbot, but how do you start? First of all, when we at Faction XYZ talk about chatbots, we make a distinction between useful and not useful chatbots. So we want to build useful chatbots that have actual value for the customers. And for that, to demonstrate that, I would like to bring up a quote from the head of digital from the National Mail company in Belgium. And he said to me once that he has more than 350,000 incoming calls per year that are all related to 4 questions that are rather routine and not complex whatsoever. At that point, we have to start asking ourselves the question, is this the right way to go forward? Do we really want people to answer these 350,000 incoming calls per year just to say the same over and over again? So we should be able to automate the process and to go ahead with it in a more efficient way. Most of the times there are 2 use cases. save costs, and sell more. So that's what everyone likes in this room, I can imagine. And that's been proven by the statement as well, by bpost. Second, we want to build useful chatbots, but we also want to build smart chatbots. And that's where our platform chat layer comes to mind. And smart chatbots actually exist of three components. You have a smart user interface, and by smart I mean you have to choose a fitting channel for your use case. Channels are very diverse. You have Facebook Messenger, you have WhatsApp, you have Skype for Business, you also have your web page, you have voice channels even nowadays with Google Home and Alexa, for example, which are up and coming. So developing a fitting channel for your client is crucial. Second part is artificial intelligence, and that's also one of the main features of our platform, is we can add layers of artificial intelligence to the chatbot to make it smarter and to make it to add more value to the conversation and to the customer. It's not only about natural language processing, so that our chatbot actually understands what people are saying to him, but also other layers of intelligence can be added. For example, contextual and personalization engine. Imagine, and this is a use case I bring up a lot, it's not in the banking industry, but Starbucks, so everybody knows Starbucks. Imagine a chatbot learning about a guy who is ordering a coffee every morning at his regular Starbucks branch. But if it's a rainy day and he has a busy schedule ahead, he would like to order a cappuccino instead of an Americano, because that's just his preference. When using artificial intelligence, you can actually automate and try to extract this information from the conversation, learn about him, and on the next occasion, you can even propose to your customer, hey, I notice you have a busy day ahead. Why don't I just order a cappuccino already, and I'll make sure it's ready when you drop by the branch. So adding different kinds of artificial intelligence layers is crucial to develop a smart chatbot, and of course smart integrations. And we have talked about APIs a lot today. Smart integrations to backend are key. If someone is asking, for a banking industry for example, if someone is asking to raise the transaction limit of his credit card, the chatbot shouldn't just say yes, but it should actually do something. It should actually raise the limit of its transaction. So smart integrations are important as well. If you combine a useful chatbot and a smart chatbot, you get a good chatbot. And these are the type of chatbots that we at Faction XYZ like to work on with our clients. And we have a kind of standardized project approach to develop a chatbot, because it's for non-chatbot companies, it's rather difficult to know how to move ahead and how to start developing a chatbot. First step, and I already mentioned it, determine the right channel. And that depends on the audience, it depends on the use case, it depends also, of course, on some technical specificities. But as you can imagine, if your main public or your main audience or an older demographic part, maybe Facebook Messenger is not that appropriate. If you're targeting younger people, it might be. And there are a lot of channels to choose from. You can have text chatbots via the channels I named already, but also voice chatbots should be taken into account nowadays, since appliances like Google Home and Alexa are up and coming. Also Siri, for example, on the iPhone. These are also some of the possibilities to develop and deploy a chatbot on. Second, and this is actually a really important step, define the scope. And this is the step where most of the companies who have an unsuccessful chatbot make a mistake. If there's one key takeaway that I would like to give you for today is, at first, if you're starting to develop a chatbot, narrow the scope as much as possible. Try to solve just one problem, one use case, and expand over time. There are two reasons for that. First is user adoption. So users have to get familiar with with chatbots and with the functioning of chatbots, and they have to learn to trust that they're working with a chatbot and he will actually really help them or try to help them. Second is more a technology matter. You should look at a natural language processing engine, so the engine behind understanding human language, as a child. And if you're learning a language to a child, it takes time and it takes a lot of practice, a lot of data. And that's the same with an NLP engine. So an NLP engine has to be trained over time. And if you make the scope, if you take a scope that is too broad at the beginning, it will be too complex for the NLP engine to learn. It will, and you risk just not having that high of accuracy you want, which will result in lower user adoption and a lot of frustration with your users. Create a personality and a tone of voice. So that's also something you should think about. Do we want to give our chatbot a name? Do we want to add some humor in the occasion? Don't overdo it, because you risk ending up in uncanny valley where you have a very nice to talk to chatbot, and it's very fun to talk to him, but he has no use whatsoever. So you should also limit or be aware of the uncanny valley when creating a personality. Next step is where most of the work is situated, designing the chatbot flow. This is where you're actually going to describe what do we want the chatbot to ask to our customers, what do we want to respond to our customers, and what information do we want to extract from the conversation in order to be able to take action afterwards. Typically, this is done by service designers, the people who just gave their presentation, copywriters, etc., because it also has to be in line with the customer journey that you have developed for your customers. An important part, and this is where the business development part of myself comes into work, choose the right technology stack. So there are a lot of chatbot frameworks on the market nowadays, ranging from easy, rather cheap solutions to very complex, high-end, and also expensive chatbot frameworks. We at ChatLayer, we combine best of both worlds by providing a platform, a software as a service, with an intuitive graphical user interface to enable our customers to develop enterprise-grade chatbots in a very user-friendly way. You don't have to be a developer, you don't have to be a technical savvy, you just people from the business, and I heard my colleague talk about it before. It actually are people from the business who are innovating, who are the innovators in this world. And that's what we try to achieve at ChatLayer as well. People from the business should be able to develop their chatbots and maintain their chatbots. Also important are some, for our clients at least, are some features that we have integrated in our platform. Multi-language support, important if you're active in more than one country. Graphical interface, handle context-aware conversations. This is the artificial intelligence layer I was talking about earlier. And handover to a support agent should be possible, so integration with a live chat solution. And last but certainly not least, measure, learn, improve. And that's the case with every digital project going on nowadays. You have to measure the results, and you have to improve upon these results and conclusion that you can learn from analyzing this. What are the users saying to my chatbot? When are they dropping out of the conversation, and why are they dropping out of the conversation? Are there questions that are being asked that are not in scope for the moment, and maybe next step, is it interesting to add these functionalities or these use cases in the chatbot in a next stage? Well, I also provided a slide with some use cases specifically for banks. These are some chatbots that have been developed over the world, not just by Faction XYZ, but by several companies. Just to give you a glimpse of what is possible with chatbots. First of all, a personal AI finance advice bot. It's a chatbot that, based on your historical transactions, knows your spending profile, your spending pattern, and can help you give tips for budget planning and keep your financial situation under control. Fraud prevention and detection. So that's something we did for a bank in Belgium. We developed a fraud detection algorithm. And based on a fraudulent transaction that was detected, a chatbot could actually start a conversation with the card owner, in this case, to verify whether the transaction was valid or not. Cross-selling, also a typical one, by asking the right questions, by being intelligent when talking to your client, you can determine the needs and the desires of your clients and thus propose products and solutions that would fit his profile. And of course, the most common use case, customer service. Automating customer service is key. And then I would like to leave you with some tips and tricks, the last ones, because I've seen I've run over my time already. Some of them have been explained already. Narrow now, expand later. Narrow the use case, learn, adapt, evolve. Develop a personality, but be aware of the uncanny valley. Make the chatbot smart and useful by adding layers of artificial intelligence and smart integrations to your backend systems. You better have a damn good reason to ask more than 5 questions. People seem to get frustrated when chatbots start asking them a lot of questions and they are leading nowhere, so better have a good reason. And last, but certainly not least, sometimes people just want to talk to people. So in any situation, at any time, at any point in time, you should be prepared and able to hand over the conversation to a live chat, to a human agent, to talk to your customer, to your end user. So that's it for me. If you have any questions, I will have to be leaving for my flight soon, but don't hesitate to email me or to come to the lobby in 5 minutes to have a talk. Yes.
Can I just interrupt? Sorry. We are running a bit late. I have a very good damn reason not to ask you questions because we are running late. Can we please take the questions outside? I mean,
Sure,
I know that you are running also late for your flight. Is it okay with you? Sorry.